Our song to chew a couple of weeks ago was Some Gifts Come with Strings Attached from my Camping with Dad's album. And one of the many possible hidden strings that can be attached to a gift is the string of responsibility. That's a string that puts a lot of pressure on the recipient of the gift, because as soon as we accept our gift, we begin to hear all the things that we need to do, in the eyes of the gift giver, to manage that gift properly. It's usually some responsibility or agenda that they have been carrying, and now all of a sudden it's our responsibility. And it can be quite a hidden surprise, all that unexpected pressure that comes along with something that's supposed to be a gift for us. Often this kind of string comes along with a family heirloom that's passed down to someone in the next generation, wrapped in heavy strings of responsibility to care for it and pass it down properly to the next generations that follow. When we give something to someone, it really only becomes a gift when it comes unencumbered with no hidden expectations. So today, from my Christmas Holidays album, let's listen to another song with that same subject. Today our song to chew is Clean Out the Attic.
My great-great-grandpa made his own leather bag back when he was still young. And it's been in our family for 100 years, handed down from father to son. Well, its bottom is torn, and it's stained and it's worn with the secrets of family affairs. But we don't throw it out, it stays in our family, in a chest in the attic upstairs. Clean out the attic, let in the light. Skeletons there will go dancing all night. The ghosts that we hear are the ancestors cheering, 'cause our kids won't inherit their woes. So clean out the attic, some things need to go. Kids carry baggage from me and their mom. They load their own bags every day. So why would I pass on my grandpa's old bag when it's just one more thing in their way? All bags have beginnings and middles and ends. So for Christmas this year it's my goal, as a gift to my kids, I'll take Grandpa's bag and bury it deep in a hole. Clean out the attic, let in the light. The skeletons there will go dancing all night, when the everyday pains of the old family chain have really gotten too tight. Clean out the attic, go dancing all night. Let in the light. Skeletons there will go dancing all night. The ghosts that we hear are the ancestors cheering, 'cause our kids will have room to grow. So clean out the attic, some things need to go. Clean out the attic, let in the light. Kids can go dancing all night.
When we receive a gift that has these kinds of strings, we find that the strings are really the gift giver's hidden story that goes along with the gift. And by receiving the story-laden offering, we tacitly agree to treat the desires and concerns of the prior owner as our own, Wow. And the responsibility of caring for that gift almost always outweighs the actual value of the gift itself. Rather than a gift, it's more like a shift of the load from the giver's back to our own shoulders. A good example of that in my family was an old chest that sat up in our attic for many, many years, full of my great-grandmother's lace doilies, those little white linen cloth decorations that some folks put on armchairs in the living room. My mother didn't want us children ruining them by spilling juice on them or ripping them, so they sat, ironed and starched and neatly folded, in this large sealed wooden chest in our attic all throughout our childhood. And when Mom died, we opened the chest and marveled at the beauty of our great-grandmother's handicraft skills. The lace was delicate and beautiful and fragile, and we separated them into other boxes and we took them home. And I put my box in my attic, as my mom had done with hers, because I didn't want any of my children to stain them, or for a dog to chew them, or for one of the cats to wrestle with them on the rug. I wanted them clean and folded, and then, when I die, my children could have them, all perfectly sealed up in their boxes to take home to their own attics. Gee, hope I remembered to put mothballs in those boxes before I sealed them up. You get my point. As a songwriter, sometimes when I can't think of anything to write about, I remember something I did one day, just playing around with a roll of toilet paper. I tore off one square of toilet paper and pretended it was one of my songs. I crumbled it up and stuffed it into the toilet paper tube, but I put my hand over the other end of the tube so it couldn't fall out. I did this over and over again until I had a toilet paper tube full of crumpled up songs. Every time I tore off another song and crumpled it up and tried to jam it into the cardboard tube, it got harder and harder to do because I kept my hand on the other end of the tube so they couldn't come out. And it became very clear to me in a physical way that if I was going to have some more room for some more songs, I'd have to take my hand off the other end of the tube. Then it dawned on me, Peter, you need to make another album. So in order to move through a system, we have to make sure there's a supply of songs, but we also have to make sure there's room for songs to pass through the tube and get out into the world on their own. So I removed my other hand and made another album. Then lots of other song ideas started to pop into my mind. So sometimes we can just play around with stuff around us, and ideas will come up that we need to help us understand and make things more clear for us about how we can best proceed. And that's why we need to clean out our attic every now and then, right? Right. So that's it for today's episode. I know it's the beginning of the new year, and we all want to make New Year's resolutions, so you might keep that in mind next time you're in the bathroom with a roll of toilet paper. And it also occurs to me that you might like to be reminded, because hopefully you've enjoyed many of my songs over the years, that there are a bunch of my other songs that you've never, ever heard. And you can download any of them from peteralsop.com, my website, or from your own favorite musical website, and then I'll have room to write some more songs because you've helped me move them through the tube. Great idea, huh? My Camping with Dads album just won a bunch of awards. It got the National Parenting Publication Association's Top Choice of the Year Award for 2020, and the Tillywig Award for Best Family Fun Album, and a hot diggity seal of approval, too. It's a story with songs that helps dads raise our sons' awareness of the need to respect our daughters and ourselves. And this weekly Songs to Chew podcast already has 110 songs and commentary, all free. Just saying. So, thanks for stopping by. Here's hoping this new year gets us onto the path of figuring out how to be more kind-hearted to each other. I'll be back next week. Hope to see you then. I'm Peter Alsop. Bye for now.